Okay, everybody, Coach is here. He'll start with opening statement, then I'll point you and we'll roll through questions. Okay, Coach, when you're ready.
As I told the team, first and foremost, no victory should be taken for granted. And congratulations on a hard-fought win. I challenged them before on Friday. I challenged them at halftime. The one thing you know about Navy is they'll never quit. They'll never quit. And we had to match their urgency throughout the entirety of the game. We did the first half. We did not have the urgency, the execution that we needed to finish the game the way we wanted to. But the beautiful part is the ability to learn and find a way to win those close games. There's been a couple games this year that have come down to a couple points in the fourth quarter and we didn't win. And so we've gotten to a point now we can win those close games, and we're going to be better because of it somehow, some way. We have to be better because of what happened in the second half and be able to go and evaluate it as coaches and on both sides of the ball and truly go back and find a way to improve as we get ready for Boston College next week. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Go ahead, raise your hand. Tim, go ahead.
Coach, in the middle, with the passing game clicking so much in the first half, what did Navy do in the second, other than obviously the pass rush on Drew Pine to slow you guys in?
Yeah, I kind of challenge our offense a little bit. I wanted to see us to be able to run the ball, and it's hard. They were zero pressure in almost every play, and what does that mean is they're bringing everybody and playing zero coverage, no middle of the field help, and we have to be able to find ways to attack that. We did in the first half. We hit some balls and we were able to check to some things when we saw it coming, but the second half we were just not able to beat zero pressure, and that's something that we got to improve at because other teams are going to do that. People are going to see they had some success in bringing all-out pressure, and what you have to do is make defenses pay in the pass game. It's hard to run against all-out pressure, but in the pass game you have to make them pay. And it wasn't that Drew wasn't hitting the target as much as we didn't have time, and so we got to make sure we try to protect, and then if they're bringing one more than we have to protect with, we got to get the ball out of our hands and hit some hot routes.
Next question. Go ahead.
The run defense in the second half, obviously you're shorthanded with JD, Brandon's not up, Joseph's not up there too. Like what was Navy doing? I guess it had more success early with the fullback, but just your run defense overall.
Yeah, I think you're up 35-14 at halftime, and you kind of say, hey, let's be smart in the second half. And coming out, we started really well, and they got the 4th and 1. I think the PI we stopped them, and they got a PI, I think, on the 4th and 1, and then it kind of bled throughout the series and led to 3 points. And second series went 3 and out. Third series was the TD pass on Mickey. I think towards the end of the second half, we got into a little bit of just prevent. We weren't playing our normal triple option defense. When that quarterback went down, we knew the backup quarterback was more of a thrower. So we kind of went into our prevent defense, and they just said, okay, we're going to run the ball. And so it's a little bit of a chess match. We're looking at the clock and saying, okay, let's keep the ball in front of us. And they're saying, okay, we'll run it if you're in prevent. And so they still found a way to score, and we recovered the onside kick, and that ended the game. So a little bit of a chess match. Again, you don't want to be able to just let teams run down the field, but at that moment you're up 10 or 11 points, and you say, okay, we know it's a 2-score game, and so let's be smart, not give up an easy big play pass and make them earn every inch and keep the clock, because they were out of timeout. So that's kind of what happened. Second, lower leg, not lower body injury, more of a growing injury. Yeah. He should be back next week.
First row on your right, Coach. Mike.
And then Tobias as well, what was he dealing with? And just, can you just speak about does Navy kind of lull any opponent with those long drives, which is the challenge of staying alert against a team like that?
Tobias, yeah, he was out with a concussion. Hopefully he's back next week. They started off the game, they had a couple long runs up the middle with just some misfits, and not having JD in there, I think affects us a little bit just in terms of production, but also leadership. You're missing a captain. But our offense was clicking in the first half. To go up 35-14 versus that defense, you felt good at halftime, but it was the challenge, right? You challenged them to at what any coach is going to say. Don't look at the score. Have the urgency that you had the first half, and we didn't. And we as coaches got to look, and me as the head coach got to look and see why, what happened. And then I know, listen, we didn't execute on offense, but we didn't execute to where we needed to on defense either. And we got to go back and look and see what exactly happened and how we got to make sure somehow, some way, we're better because of what happened in the second half.
Second row on your left over your time.
I'm curious, Navy had a long drive to start the second half, and it only ended up in a field goal, but did that change the momentum in any way, that you were just out there for so long, and maybe you come out of this halftime?
Yeah, I think it was a 10-minute drive. It was really the PI call. Gosh, it kind of got you a little bit because you stop them, and then the flag comes in, and I think it was defensive holding is what they called, and you see the drive extend, and it was a 10-minute drive, and then our offense gets the ball, and I think we go 3 and out. Right, the offense don't get the ball until about a minute left in the third quarter, and so that second drive was going into the fourth quarter. So one true drive in the third quarter, 3 and out. That's not that's not what you want. And we knew Navy. Listen, it's a time of possession battle. That's what they love to do. They love to steal possessions, and we knew every possession would matter. That first possession mattered, and we went 3 and out on offense, and so that can't happen. At least you have to get some first downs and try to regain some momentum in field position, and that's what we got to do.
Second row on your right, time.
You talked about the pressure in the second half. Obviously, Drew was only able to throw 5 times because of that. What do you take away from his game? I mean, you balling in the first half, and then the second half, you guys just aren't able to do anything. Was this a step forward for him in totality?
Well, it's got to be for everybody in our program. Right, the same thing for Drew Pine, the same thing I say to the entire football program is if we're not better because of what happened through the entirety of this game, then we failed an opportunity. We got to look at the second half. It's easy to say the first half, right? To look at the second half and say, okay, how do we become a better football team because of what happened in the second half? How do we make sure if a team wants to bring all-out pressure versus our offense, we have our answers, our exact answers, and execute? I think we had answers, but we didn't execute them. And so we have to be better because of this and how the second half happened. And again, the opportunity to get better after a win is something that any coach dreams of, right? The opportunity to challenge your team and to show them the film. And, as much as I'm sitting in there saying, hey, man, it's hard to get these wins and we got to celebrate and we got to feel good about it, they don't feel great. You can tell, but we got to learn from it. And I'm excited. There's going to be a hungry group as we get ready for this last home game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.